All right, if you guys are ready, we'll go ahead and stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll have a roll call.
Dan Pillow.
Here.
Jennifer Wiehe.
Here.
Jennifer Anderson. Here. Ann Pillow.
Here.
Al Glick.
Here.
Pam Jackson.
Here. And we'll start with your clerk's report.
You received the minutes from the special meeting on March the 10th.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from March the 10th.
I'll accept it.
Motion by Pam Jackson,
Second.
second by Al Glick. Any discussion?
Thing over here, not paying no attention.
No discussion, we'll go.
Dan Pillow.
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe.
Yay.
Jennifer Anderson.
Yay.
Ann Pillow.
Yay.
Al Glick.
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
And you have the special, the minutes from the special meeting of March the 16th.
I make a motion to accept the minutes for the special meeting.
I'll second it. Motion by Jennifer Anderson, second by Pam Jackson. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Ann Pillow.
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe.
Yay.
Jennifer Anderson.
Yay.
Ann Pillow.
Yay.
Al Glick.
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
And you have the regular council meeting from March the 20th.
Make a motion to accept the meetings for the regular council meeting from March the 20th.
I'll second it. Motion by Jennifer Anderson, second by Pam Jackson. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow.
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe.
Yay.
Jennifer Anderson.
Yay.
Ann Pillow.
Yay.
Al Glick.
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
And then you have the minutes from the March 27th special meeting.
Make a motion to accept the special meetings minutes from the 27th.
I'll second it. Motion by Jennifer Anderson, second by Pam Jackson. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow.
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe.
Yay.
Jennifer Anderson.
Yay.
Ann Pillow.
Yay.
Al Glick.
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
And you received pay ordinance, out of order here. 4A for biweekly payroll that was paid on March the 20th. Dispersed from the general fund was $9,610.61. From the street construction maintenance repair, $3,042.40. From the water fund, $2,594.27. For a combined total of $15,247.28.
I make a motion to accept the, what is this ordinance? 4A.
Wait. I was just gonna ask something about that.
I'll second.
You got a second here.
I'll second. Motion by Jennifer Anderson, second by Pam Jackson. Any discussion?
Yeah, I seen that we had on here where we paid an officer to cover a shift for overtime. Now, is that just covering the shift and now we're paying overtime to Michelle, I guess?
It's the last resort. If we have a shift unfilled, I mean, we've broached this topic a couple times. It's that or it goes unfilled. And I thought
Because it was a 10-hour overtime shift for coverage.
Moving forward in April, we shouldn't see that at all.
we had 2 open shifts the last, before I left out of town, and now they're filled in April, so we don't have any openings. But yeah, I mean, I thought council's stance was overtime was better than an open shift. And I wait till the last minute and last resort to use that. So.
Yeah, I just seen that where Michelle had 10 hours overtime shift coverage. And I was just wondering what was the deal with that?
It would have been an open shift that we couldn't get anybody to work.
Couldn't get no part-time guys to come in. All right, that's all I was just asking a question.
Well, it's a good question. Council should make some decision on how we want to do it so it's clear. You know, Eric has the understanding that council wants every shift covered regardless. I don't know if that's what council intended or not, but we should at
Well, I was
least
under the
try to figure
impression
that out. Well, because we've had a lot of open shifts a lot of the time, but.
And in the policy, it does say that about overtime, there shouldn't be any overtime, honestly. It is in there. It says no overtime. Unless it's an emergency. I guess we need to declare what is an emergency. Is it covering the shift or is it,
I mean,
yeah, I guess he really needs to understand too.
with all due respect, if not having an officer in the village isn't an emergency, I don't know what else is. I mean,
And then schedule changes too. I think sometimes we're seeing a schedule and it seems to be different maybe. Can we get it updated if you could do that? That might make us understand too.
there's a lot of moving pieces,
Yeah.
it changes a lot. I mean, I
Right.
can send it when there's a change.
Yeah, because I remember that, I've seen that personally. I don't know about anybody else, but
Yeah, I've seen it where there's different officers on, says different on the schedule.
yeah. It's just, I don't know what we want to do with the overtime. It's,
There's a lot of situations where guys get mandated overtime at where they're at, and then I have to find somebody else to cover it, and it's constantly changing.
yeah.
Okay, so do we want officers to cover open shifts is what we need to decide. Is what-
And overtime is the thing. I mean, it's gonna be overtime if you got a full-time employee like Michelle, then she covers a shift 10 hours.
So do we want to leave that shift open if it's going to turn into overtime? If there's no other option as a council?
I
Is
mean,
that
if
what
it's
we're
at
saying?
nighttime, if that was the deal.
Well, she's only
That's
third shift, right?
I mean, as your
she's
police
been
chief,
sent- she's
my-
been sent different shifts.
Stance is you cannot avoid overtime to leave a shift covered. I mean, that's, to me, that's just, you can't, I understand the budget, I understand the financial situations, but if it's last resort or leave the shift open, to me, that's a no-brainer, but I'm not council.
But is that shouldn't be too much of an issue now that where we stand?
I mean, I
Once
don't
we
think
hired
it's-
that
Now.
other officer, it shouldn't have a problem then, right?
I don't think it's that big of an issue right now. It's very,
It was a common issue before, but it shouldn't be an issue moving forward.
I don't know that it's been a common issue really at all. It's been very limited what I've paid out in overtime.
Yeah. I think it's because it's a full-time person that is getting this overtime, is the question. Because their full-time's not supposed to have overtime, according to our policy. And we're thinking, is there nobody, other part-time person that could possibly cover this? I realize it's hard to get somebody if it's last minute, but if it's a schedule thing, I would think we would know that in advance unless somebody calls off sick or something, that's different.
Well, the
Yes,
reason
I'll-
it's gonna end up being the full-time person more often than none is because that's who's available.
And that's who's working, and the part-time people aren't working.
Right.
We have the ordinance that dictates, as Pam had said, but I think we just need to come to a meeting of the minds as to what council wants. Are you comfortable with the shift being not filled?
covered.
Or do you can't have both, so we have to make a decision.
Right, that way we're
So-
not doing this again with the,
I mean, if it's a nighttime shift and it's a third shift, not really nothing goes on in the village on third shift. I mean, barely.
I
I
can't,
mean, it's a small village, it's not.
I'm sorry. I try to be respectful, but that's unacceptable to me. I can't make that decision to leave the village without police coverage if we
That's
have
usually when the
what's
thefts
supposed to be a 24-hour police department.
A lot of them are gone now.
Well, I don't think we'll make the decision today.
It's not.
But let's get it over to the police and laws and contracts, or either or, so they can really talk
Hammer it
about
out.
this, bring it back to us.
Yeah.
I mean, council, you guys have been on me for the last 6 months to not have open shifts. We fill them, and then that's an issue too, so I'm very confused.
That's right. That's why I want to make it so it's very plain, so council says, this is what we're looking for.
That would be, yes.
Yeah,
So is
because,
it being referred to
is-
both contracts
I-
and police?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm
Margaret.
sorry, I was
didn't-
asking, I was getting my notes. Is it going to be referred to a committee?
I don't know.
I would.
I
so we get hashed
can't,
out.
neither one of my committees.
I know we've discussed this
Laws and contracts.
over and over and over. I mean, we have, it's just,
We're the same.
I have one
Laws and
question.
contracts.
it always comes
Moving
up, what's
forward
the
on that,
overtime?
is there overtime in the budget for the police department?
Not,
There's $10,000, I believe, allotted.
May I speak on that?
yeah, but no.
In regards to the budget, when it was put together, salaries were put in there for 3 full-time people, and there was emergency overtime put in there for ADRs for the 3 full-time as a cushion. It was for emergency overtime. It just wasn't for overtime. And as far as the other officers, the money that was put in there was for 7 part-time officers at their regular pay for covering weekends and holidays. And that's what you read, what you voted on.
As I said, I know that's what we discussed in the finance.
I mean, you put me in a sort of in a pickle when it comes down to it, because I'm trying to do what's right according to your rules, and I don't want to get in trouble from higher ups on why I'm following through and doing
I
it.
mean, I feel like I'm put in a pickle now. I mean, again, with all due respect, it's been an issue with the open shifts for the last 6 months, and I'm doing everything I can to cover them. I'm covering what I can, and then it's not clear that I'm even supposed to do that. So, and if, I'm sorry, again, if an open shift where we're not gonna have a policeman or an officer in the village for an entire shift is an emergency, I mean, we're getting bills from the sheriff's office at $61 an hour. Our overtime rate's 30. I know we're not paying that bill yet, but that's, I don't know.
I'm at a loss for words. Just that needs to go back to.
It's not something I just hand out like it's, Halloween candy. It's, when somebody gets overtime, it's the absolute last resort, and I can't even, up until now, I haven't even filled all the shifts yet. But if I have somebody that's willing to take a shift where we have no coverage, that's the absolute last resort. I'm not just saying, Michelle or whoever, do you want overtime? Take it. I'm begging and pleading with guys to fill shifts, and I'm getting 0 answers, and I'm left with open shifts. So that's,
And we know that there are going to be open shifts. People get sick, people do this, people do that. There's just not going to be everybody that's going to fill a shift. So council has to make that decision how we do that. Let's say if the afternoon guy's sick, somebody's got to come in and fill that. If that's what council wants to do. Our council says, no, we're okay, let's just skip the shift.
And then when I start getting them calls again.
But then council.
Why isn't there a cop around here on shift? And I'm gonna be like, well, refer that to council, come in and tell them about it.
Yeah, because council's more upset when we have open shifts. Or it seems to be more.
that was my understanding.
Right?
Well, that's not gonna be resolved tonight, so.
No, exactly, I think. So I'll hold any more questions that I have.
Is there a vote?
Who's going to handle it, Mayor?
Laws and contracts.
Laws and contracts?
We'll just throw it in their direction, yeah.
Can I get some clarity as we move forward? Because every month I have to give a schedule to the sheriff's department and the communications center. I allow myself 2.5 weeks to put the schedule together every month and try to fill the shifts. As of yesterday, April, what was yesterday, the 3rd?
Second.
Second. We had 2 open shifts. I had a meeting with the sheriff's department today. My last resort was to fill one of them with overtime, so there's 1 day of scheduled overtime in April as we stand.
Well, I don't want to
I have a
prolong this,
question. Go
but
ahead.
my
Go
question
ahead.
is, who decided that we had to deal with Hamilton County?
There we go. That's what
Give them our schedules, tell them about our open shifts. I mean, is that something that the law says that we have to do that, or is that just something that just popped up lately?
Well, I mean, if we're relying on
That
them.
started back with Dawn.
That's part of what
We
I'm
didn't know
saying.
about it.
That started back.
We didn't know about it.
Yeah.
Part of what now?
They were just, it was not that we had to give it to them. It was as a courtesy to let them know what shifts that we don't have an officer on, not for them to charge us for it. It was just a courtesy. It wasn't meant to be here to charge us for it. That was a courtesy to let them know that, hey, we didn't have anybody in this shift, so if they get a call, they know that there's nobody here.
Well, I honestly think we should have known about that.
I've told, I mean, this has been,
Well, she's meaning like when it started, not
Yeah.
now that you're doing it. She's meaning
Right.
back when whoever started it
That's
came
nothing
up with that
that,
solution.
I think it was even back before then.
because I don't see why we should ever give anybody our schedule, signing off on things and all that. I'm not comfortable. I don't know about the rest of council.
council has been okay with the sheriff's department covering our open shifts for the entire time I've been the chief. If we have an open shift, I can't just say, oh, by the way, we don't have anybody working today, you guys are covering us. I mean, you have to have some knowledge moving forward when we don't have somebody here, so to just give them a 5-minute heads up of, hey, I'm out the door, there's nobody coming in behind me. I mean, I don't think that's a very prudent way to handle our business. And that's been going on for as long as I've been here. We let them know what is open so they can be prepared as we move through the month. Same with dispatch. That way they know if there's not an officer here with the village, they know to call me in an emergency. So,
Well, I guess we
We've got light.
deal with all of that some future day. Committee?
Who's taking that one on?
I guess it would have been the same laws and contract meeting. If you're talking
Just put
about
it as same
overtime.
law. All right, call for the vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe, Jennifer Anderson,
Okay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Al Glick,
Okay,
Pam Jackson.
Yeah.
Then you have 4B, this will be for monthly salaries to be dispersed on April the 15th from the general fund, $7,741.53, water fund, $1,036.54 for a combined total of $8,778.07.
I'll make a motion to accept 4B 2023.
I'll second it.
Motion by Pam Jackson, second by Al Glick. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe, Jennifer Anderson,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Al Glick,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
Then you have 4C, this is for accounts payable. From the general fund, $4,717.82. From the street construction maintenance repair fund, $1,382.60. From the water fund, $637.26, for a combined total of $6,737.68.
Make a motion to accept 4C.
I'll second it.
Motion by Jennifer Anderson, second by Pam Jackson. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe,
Yay.
Jennifer Anderson,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Al Glick,
Okay.
and Pam Jackson.
Yay.
Then you have 4D, and this is for the annual insurance. We did get a discount again this year on our premium for the year from the Ohio Public Entity Pool. The Primo is the finance company they use. And then the truck is on there, and also the April payment for the Kubota. From the general fund, $92,389.24. From the fire EMS fund, $3,248.24. From the street construction maintenance repair fund, $3,248.24. And from the water fund, $3,248.24. For a combined total of $102,133.96. That was hard to type.
Make a motion to accept 4D.
I'll second it.
Motion by Jennifer Anderson, second by Pam Jackson. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe,
Yay.
Jennifer Anderson,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Al Glick,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
And you did receive a copy of year-to-date appropriations and revenue. And I would like to mention, and just so council knows, I guess it's really a water board thing, but I received notice from Ohio Public Retirement System that Eric Winhusen, our water operator, is retiring soon. So they sent me notice, and I don't know what the water board's going to do about that. I assume that Cleves will probably employ his understudy. And I did mention to the water clerk that, you know, the board needed to look at something for the village too. So that's all I have, Mayor.
All right, thank you, Margaret. All right. I just have a couple things, I don't really have a lot tonight. But, one of the things, I did get a phone call, they're gonna start on that sidewalk on 2nd Street tomorrow, they're gonna start saw cutting, so they're gonna be getting that done out there on 2nd Street where they,
Tore it all up.
supposedly they didn't do it, but they had
They
it.
didn't do it, but they knew about it.
Well, they definitely
Well, they knew
did.
about it.
They said it was because it's been crumbling for years, that was not.
They kept a chin on it, but they didn't do it.
Anyway, so they're gonna start on that tomorrow and hopefully be finished up by the end of this week.
That'll be a good looking patch.
It's quite a bit.
Yeah.
It was from the plates sitting on there where they were jackhammering and knocking it all, crumbling it up.
It was just over than they expect.
Anyway, the other one that got back to me today was Logan from Duke Energy about the Park Electric. Yeah, all right. You want the real deal here? So anyway, they did the measurements down there and they were going by the engineers, because the engineers looked at our plans. So here's what they're trying to get down here, here's what they need. So 3-phase, it cannot come off of Church Street because of the way that works up there, so it would have to come over more toward where the VFW is and come down. So they'd do 2 poles, it'd be underground. So the poles, the length of the wire, the transformers, that all comes to $20,500. Okay, and then, but that's all that covers. That does not cover digging up the ground, running the conduit for the wire and the concrete slab that's needed for the box. And where it goes, it would have to go through, because the way it's coming down through over there, and you know, it's maybe something council really needs to look at, because if he did ask about, are you putting this basketball, pickleball, he said, from what we've seen on here, you know, there's a lot of obstacles, and maybe council needs to relook at this, because they also need 15 feet of easement for that wire going down. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
From who easement? From us?
from Duke, like an
No.
easement for them from us.
Yeah, from us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From like, where the walkway? Like you're saying 15 foot off the walkway? It's gonna be
Just
crazy.
15 foot, like easement where they need to do their work with their wires or poles. Like, so
Wow.
wherever it's running, that would be like a linear, 15 feet,
So that's going to affect what we already have over there, such as
possibly.
drive, walkways.
So that's something that needs to be looked at, because if you're going, and if you have a contractor come in to work with Duke Energy to do the digging up, doing the conduit and everything, so you need to add that cost too. So you're going up over $20,000, and that's for the 3-phase. So I'm just relaying that message.
Yeah.
And we definitely need to get together and sort of evaluate what's going on.
Yeah.
What truly can we
When they
do?
say easement, that doesn't necessarily affect what we have.
No, it's not gonna affect what we
Yeah.
do.
It just means that
But
if they
they
need to
don't
get in and
wanna,
work.
they don't wanna be putting it under anything that possibly that we change, or we have something new coming in, or, you know, he said he just wants a clear vision of exactly where you're going, where they can go to stay away from what we're doing. So, it's definitely another meeting that needs to be had, hash that out, honestly, with the entire council. Okay, beyond that right now, I don't have anything else at the moment. Bob?
Nothing.
Nothing. All right, we'll go straight to committees. Dan?
Thanks, Mayor. Just want to say thanks to the council as a whole. We're going to be looking at getting the basketball court and everything in, providing we get the grant. That'll be due, notification will be due on that on Friday. So we'll know where we're going with that on Friday. If we get the grant, then we can move forward. They will send back memorandum of understanding for us to sign. Did we get the last one in all right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I
yeah.
sent that to you tonight, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Well, he didn't send it to me till it was like 5 o'clock or whatever
Yeah.
today because it was ending on Friday, so I didn't get anything
I
till
just
today.
saw something
And it's
from
in your
you.
mail.
Oh, yeah, okay. So that's great. That's good. And that's all I have, Mayor. Thank
All
you
right,
very
thanks, Dan. Jennifer?
We had sent out the, I guess, the procedure, and we asked everybody to look over it and to let us know if they had any comments or concerns by the 27th. We have not heard anything from anyone. So is everyone okay with us moving forward to ask Mr. Bob to do an ordinance for us?
I never got them. You guys send it out in the email?
Jim, I guess,
I sent it in an email.
did. Yeah, and I forgot to reply.
I sent it in an email like on the 20th of March. or
There's an
the-
extra printed copy of it. I just didn't reply because I
I
didn't
think
have
I
it.
got it.
Thank you.
I think I just didn't read it.
I meant to and forgot.
It's
I'm
okay.
sorry.
That's okay. So I guess we'll push that back a little bit longer until everybody has a chance to review it. We were going to have a meeting on Wednesday. Do you guys still want to have that meeting, or do you want to wait? I mean, I know we have just come up with a couple issues in our council meeting today that still needs to be discussed. So do you guys still want to go ahead with our meeting on Wednesday at 1?
What's the meeting on
For the new
Wednesday? Is
issues?
that
It was supposed to be for the
Employees.
employees.
But
because no
I
one-
want to push that one off then.
Yeah, we have to push that back, but because we're talking about the overtime, I didn't know if they wanted to go ahead and do that on Wednesday, or if you wanted to do that when we discuss the policy, which is going to be shortly, when he's finished with the ordinance.
Jennifer, is that a council meeting or just the laws and contracts to interview is it like an interview or a question and answer that you're going to do?
At that point, we were just going to go over
Go over it with
what we
them?
were going to discuss with the employees, with the changes that we needed to earmark so that way they could pay closer attention to the those particular changes. So that's what that meeting was about. But that's not ready, so we can't have that meeting yet.
But still, I keep that date since you already have it.
But we still do already have that date for Wednesday.
Yeah.
I thought that was a different date.
No, we're supposed to do that Wednesday.
That would be the 5th.
Wednesday the
Yeah.
5th, I thought we would be going, that would just be the committee
Yeah.
reviewing the stuff,
Right.
the policy, so that we'll be prepared to present it to the employees. on the
Right.
Just the
12th.
next one.
Correct. But I don't think the ordinance is going to be done by the 12th to move forward because we have not read it yet and no
And
one,
passed it.
right. No one has gone over the policy to even make a comment on it.
When's our next
Well,
meeting?
everybody had it. That's what
They had it, but they say they didn't read it.
I did read through it. I just didn't
I was
email
like,
you.
I just, I read it, I just didn't respond. I had no questions or concerns.
Okay.
Sometimes if I don't answer, it's
So
because I have no questions
17th
or
is our
concerns.
next council meeting, and then just, send it to Bobby for the 17th for the.
He already has it.
Oh, okay.
And you said you would have it ready by the next council meeting, right?
That's what you just said, yeah.
So.
Yeah, but if now there
But if
is
no one-
possible changes, then that's.
Right, if there's
that's a problem.
possible changes, then there's no need to be on Wednesday for the purpose we were meeting on. But that doesn't mean we can't discuss the topics that were given to us tonight.
Right. Yeah.
So would you still like to keep the meeting on Wednesday for 1, to at least discuss the topics that were given to us tonight?
What time is this meeting?
Wednesday
At what
at
time?
1 o'clock.
Yeah.
The 5th, all right?
And that's
It's
just
just it.
for the laws and contracts committee.
Correct,
For the new issues that surfaced tonight.
correct. Because we can't move forward on the policy yet.
because they might have changed.
All right. Is that all you had, Jimmy?
That's all I had.
All right, thanks.
Mayor, I got your email, and I was asking in terms of the last 15,000 we got, not the one that we're working on now. Remember?
The last?
Yeah, you know, we got one We Thrive grant.
Oh, yeah, that
Yeah,
one
okay,
was
that's
approved.
the one I was thinking in terms of, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got this one.
That was for the small events that I just sent
Yes,
you.
I see
So
that
you got
now.
a copy of that.
Thanks.
Yeah.
On We Thrive, I just want council to know, we did receive $3,000 of the 37. And when Nicole stopped in here the other day, and I told her, because I reached out to the county and they told me who to call at Board of Health, she said that we won't get the other 7 until the project's like done and everything. Then they'll do a follow-up and we'll get that money. But I did get, out of the 3,700, I did get a check for the 3,000. That was for, I believe, that and something else that we use we're doing with
Oh,
them.
he's talking about the $15,000.
Yeah, I know, but I just wanted to know we did receive
Oh,
money.
that one.
Because
Okay.
I hadn't received anything for a long time, and that was like 3
Got me
months, 4 months
confused
ago.
there for a minute.
Yeah.
I'm
Don't
like,
want to confuse
3,000.
anybody. No. It had nothing to do with the 15. But,
Okay.
you know, I just want everybody to know that we did receive
grant.
out of the other one.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
It was actually the 12th, and
The
this will be the employee.
Okay.
But we can't have it because there's nothing to do.
I remember he wrote it down, that's why I was asking.
All right, Jennifer Anderson, do you have anything?
I didn't have anything at this time.
Ms. Anfield?
The only thing I have is that the parks and playgrounds will meet on Wednesday at 5:30
Here
here.
for updates.
You got it.
I wanted to double check to see if that was that's not a police state.
6 o'clock.
Police.
I hope it's not a police state, I'd be, you know.
No.
No.
It's not a court night.
Wednesday, we got 1 PM to 5:30 for parks.
Parks,
All
it was
right.
5:30.
That's all we have, Ms. Ann.
That's all I have.
All right, thank you. Al?
Nothing to that.
All right, thanks, Al. Pam?
I really don't have anything as a committee standpoint, just but to thank everybody from the Easter egg hunt. Had a nice crowd.
Good.
And thanks to the VFW for again allowing us to use their building over there. If Margret could send them a letter or
I
something.
did. I sent them a thank you
acknowledging
card
that.
today,
On behalf of the
acknowledging their
village.
donation and the use of their facilities.
Yeah, and then of course the police department was over there also, and just it was a good turnout, even though it was kind of bad.
Oh, Jilly.
And to the Easter
Well,
Bunny.
for everybody
Our
else.
wounded Easter bunnies showed up.
Did you see the pictures on Facebook?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, good bunny.
Hey, I was warm, everybody else was cold.
Well, I was gonna say, at least you had that out.
Right. I was getting warm. I
Yeah. It was a
felt
really
like I was
nice
a baby
turnout.
again in one of them onesies. Oh, zip up there. Yeah, this ain't bad
Johnson,
deal.
ninja roll.
I did not.
That's all I had.
All right, thank you, Pam.
You're welcome.
Go ahead and go to our department heads. Do you have anything? Dustin?
Uh-oh. That notepad.
Oh, I know what's right. Step up the notepad.
Paper over.
We're in trouble.
Just a few things, updates. We had the new dump was brought to us, and it's scheduled to have a V-box and the plow put on it this week. So we'll be prepared for this season.
Great.
Next season.
Hope we're done. Well, actually,
Technically this year,
this
yeah.
year. October, November.
Right. And we started patching potholes and meeting with the blacktop rep tomorrow about the parking lot getting sealed and other areas that need to be taken care of. And the surveillance signs for the park have been ordered. We can put those up and see what they do.
They'll probably tear them down.
And we started installing the workout equipment at the park. We put the new 3 in that we ordered 2 years ago.
Is
And
something
then we
missing?
started to put these in over here. They have different brackets on the bottom. So hopefully we can drill those out and still be able to use what's sunk in the concrete.
You mean these here or?
Yeah, there's different size patterns on what's over
Are
there and
they
what's here.
wider
These are smaller than what's over there by like an inch. So we'll have to drill through, you know,
or
with a Rena drill that'll go through an inch of,
mag drill?
yeah, mag drill. But that's all I have.
Set it on there, draw your circles on there, drop the mag drill on there.
Run an extension cord from the firehouse.
Yeah.
Really?
Or a good generator.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, use the generator you got and hopefully that'll hold.
Sure.
So
Generator.
we should have one of those, don't we, the village?
It's not the greatest thing in the world, but we do.
I
Yeah,
bet you're.
I've never started it, but yeah, there's one over there.
We used
I
to.
say it's probably very.
We did
normal.
use it, not last year, but the year before. Should still be.
Looks like
It
they'll,
takes a minute to get it rolling and stuff, but once it gets rolling,
Just like the rest of us.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're gonna, I need to get with Ann and Jennifer on that. I was waiting to see what all these other meetings were gonna be. I'm sorry, I didn't, I'll wait till you finish.
I was just
I'm
gonna
sorry.
ask if anybody had any questions for him. If
He
you're,
had us all scared. He came up with his little notepad, like he had a note. I know, I was ready, like, okay.
it wasn't that bad, just up
Came
there.
prepared.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dustin.
Thank you, Dustin.
The pothole up on Main Street,
Goes on the speed.
32 or whatever that is.
22 Main?
32, man.
Well, 22 is in front of Mear Lou's. 21, 22. right
Easter,
across-
what, or Easter?
It's like that too.
32, yeah.
Yeah,
We're gonna go
it's
look
right
at it.
across from that.
Mhm.
It's pretty big, pretty deep.
Yeah, and you got the dip, whatever that thing is there.
Yeah, it's all the water main bricks that we've had, or,
Yeah,
Mhm.
well, that wasn't a brick, that was scheduled.
Yeah,
there you go.
but that is getting patched in. That's what's on, that's what he was talking about with his blacktopping and get with him.
When they open Blacktop?
April 1st.
April 1st.
Mhm.
There we go.
So
Good shape
now
now
he's-
again.
So we'll
Yeah.
see.
See how it goes?
Thanks, Dustin.
Did they come back up on Second Street to fix what they messed up?
We haven't talked to them people.
Haven't talked to them.
I just thought I'd throw that into the pot.
That's the other end. That's Holmes.
Home needs.
Yeah, I think that's what Danny and Al got together with Holmes, didn't you guys?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they-
Maybe getting with the
They said
guy
they were
that you
coming back.
contact.
I drawed it up and they messed it up.
yeah.
So maybe
Like
whoever
send somebody else.
for contact, if you guys could call whoever it was that you contacted and remind them.
Yeah.
Because if they said they were going to come back,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the minutes.
now that
Yeah,
they're.
because they'll get so busy, last them.
That's why I was like,
Yeah.
I would probably call since April 1st is when all of us
Yeah.
opening back
Yeah.
up. Give them a call and get things
Call
on the
Mike
ball again.
tomorrow. Hey,
Yeah,
man, can I get this done, get this
Yeah.
tore out,
Yeah,
and get the right one put in?
absolutely.
Before they forget about us.
Yeah, they'll do that.
And then we'll be the last little
They
scrape of
wanted
what's
to
left.
say.
Yes, Mayor, there is a Parks and Playgrounds meeting, and you say
Wednesday.
It's Wednesday at 5:30.
Wednesday at 5:30. And what
That's
time?
Wednesday at 1.
Wednesday at 1.
1?
We'll be here all day Wednesday.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll look for a day so we don't overload that day, you know, because you guys will be at, what time again? 1, you may not get done till 3, you know. Then there's one Wednesday night.
Hopefully it's not
At
that far.
5:30.
5:30. I'll work with
Just
them and
make
get
it and then let her know to post it.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah, because we have one, I forgot to let Margaret know.
Oh.
Yeah, I looked, it was about 8:30, we're going to have it the next day at 6, and I'm like, oh, well. All right, thank you, that's all I needed, thanks.
Anybody else have anything to bring up?
I will make this motion that we adjourn.
I'll second it.
Motion by Dan, second by Jennifer.
Never finishes early council meeting.
Dan Pillow. Dan Pillow.
You want to adjourn, Dan?
Sorry, Dan
Oh,
Pillow.
yay, I'm sorry. Yay.
Yay.
Jennifer Anderson.
Yay.
I'm just astonished.
Sorry,
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Dan
sorry.
Jackson.
We have